Hi there, Dal from Challengers Comics here to talk to you about... Okay, look, we're all going through a lot right now. It's November 5th, it's election day in America. Things are very stressful, no matter what side of the partisan divide you're on. It's going to be a rough 24 hours. It's hopefully not going to be a rough 72 hours, but let's be real here. In the meantime, there are new comics. We have new comics on the shelves. We have new comics that are going to be for sale Wednesday, November 6th, 11 a.m. here at Challengers Comics. Normally, I would be just pointing the camera at the wall and randomly talking about things in alphabetical order, but Molly's here tonight. Molly's kind enough to film this.
Hi.
So I'm going to do this in alphabetical order anyway, because that's just what I'm used to right now, which means we start off with Absolute Superman #1. This is the third of the launch titles for the Absolute Universe at DC. This is Jason Aaron and Rafa Sandoval doing their absolute take on Superman. If you've been keeping up with comics in the last 5 weeks or so, you are aware that Absolute Batman was one of the biggest launches in mainstream comics in the last few years. You're aware of the fact that I won't shut up about how good Absolute Wonder Woman is. I got to tell someone today how good it was, and they bought it, and they're going to come back next week and tell me how great it was. Absolute Superman does not shirk. It is shoulder to shoulder with the other two books. It is a very different take on Superman in the sense of how they're telling their story and what parts of Superman they really want to talk about in this. It is very good, though. It is more of a sci-fi thing. There's a thing they get at about the Superman character that I kind of never thought about and probably wasn't intended when the characters were created in the 1930s. But now in 2024, there's a part of that character's origin that is so relevant to the world we live in, and I'm really glad they're focusing on it. This is great. Don't miss out. Aliens vs. Avengers #2. First issue came out 2-3 months ago. This is the next chapter. It is great. Batgirl #1. This is my favorite Batgirl, Cassandra Cain. It's by Tate Brombell, who's worked on a bunch of the Slaughter books, like House of Slaughter, Slaughter something else. And Takeshi Miyazawa, who's one of my favorite artists. Takeshi Miyazawa was one of the few people we reached out to when Challengers opened to do a window piece for us based on the Spider-Man Loves Mary Jane comic that we were all in love with and is still super great, and you can buy in a graphic novel format if you've never checked it out. But anyway, Takeshi Miyazawa is drawing this. Tate Brombell's writing it. It is Cassandra Cain being forced to team up with her mother, Lady Shiva, who she hates. And it's full of very cool action and very cool characterization. It is terrific. Don't sleep on this one. I feel like with all the stuff coming out this week and all the things that have come out from the All-In books over the last few weeks, it's very easy to pass up this Batgirl comic. Certainly this is required reading for anyone who's enjoyed Cassandra Cain and Birds of Prey, and just anyone who likes cool superhero comics. FML. This is the brand new Kelly Sue DeConnick, David Lopez ongoing series at Dark Horse. It is a little YA. It's a little goofy. It's a little fun. It's definitely a much lighter take than stuff like Pretty Deadly or Wonder Woman Historia, the Amazons. I never remember which one I'm supposed to put the I at the end of. But this is great. David Lopez, another one of my all-time favorite artists, did All New Wolverine to kick that off with Tom Taylor back in the day for one of the greatest Laura Kinney stories ever.
And they did some great Captain Marvel stuff together.
And David Lopez also was a collaborator on the early days of the Kelly Sue DeConnick iconic Captain Marvel run. This is great. This is a group of kids in Portland who are forming a band, also maybe dealing with an apocalypse, also maybe dealing with crazy supernatural body transformations. It's a book that's equally interested in talking about what it's like to be a teenager nowadays and also what it's like to be a parent of teenagers nowadays. So, worth checking out. JSA #1. Jeff Lemire, Diego Orlatugia. I thought the art on this was really fun. Jeff Lemire is very much doing a more straightforward superhero thing than you might be expecting, but it's also kind of in line with some of the melancholy of like the Black Hammer stuff. I thought this was great. I've been a JSA fan, but I kind of been checked out the last couple years. This got me right back into it. I really love the generational stuff. I love the new characters. I love the old characters. I love the last page. It's great.
Generational stuff is always the best part of JSA.
Kairi, the Reshaper of Worlds. This is the character that debuted in the What If second season on Disney+. This is her first comic book. She was a character created for the animation and now so successful and so popular and so beloved that they are giving her a Marvel Voices special one-shot. Not only do we have this cover, but we also have a Maria Wolf cover in stock.
I'm going to show you. It's real cool.
It's real cool. Molly, do you want to talk about One for Sorrow?
It's the new comic written and drawn by Jamie McKelvey, who is the artist from Wicked and Divine, from Young Avengers, a lot of Kieran Gillen collaborations. It's great. I love his art. It's really cool. It's like a Victorian England noir kind of... Yeah, I like it.
There you go. I talked about the new storybook. All of that, so much more this week. I should mention before we go that we do have the new Emma Rios graphic novel. It is gigantic. It's super thick. And for the first 10 people who pick it up at Challengers, it does come with an exclusive book plate signed by Emma Rios, tipped into the book by hand by Molly Jane. And you're not going to pay any extra for all her hard work. That's about it for the week. Again, let's all try and get through the next few days. Let's try and keep our heads about us. Let's read some comics to hopefully take our minds off of what's going on in the world around us.
Dissociate.
And we hope to see you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Keep reading comics.